Hey guys, what it is? It's your girl Tally. Been a few weeks now, probably like a week, but another message for you guys. Like, you gotta stop letting people play with you. I don't even know. I try to come on here and try to say things in a more professional way, but I just need to let it flow how it flow, okay? Professional is for the job that I just left. Right now, I gotta give you guys the real how it is. All right. If you like me, you know what code switching is about. So sometimes you got to do it this way. Sometimes you got to do it this way. But when I get this message, it's meant for who it's for. So whoever it's for is going to hear me. And my thing is, you got to stop letting people play with you. And this is, I know I said it that way, but this is so much less about other people and more importantly about you, yourself, how you feel about you, you know, the healing that you've been through, the things that you've been through to make you who you are today. It's about what you stand on. Do you stand on business? I love that new thing, standing on business. And to me, that means like ESPN said, like SportsCenter said, it says handling your responsibilities, standing on your word. When you give your word, you follow through with it. When you give your ultimatum, you follow through with it. When you say you're gonna do something, you do it. And basically, it's just all about knowing who you are and knowing what you're not going to accept. It's about boundaries. Come on now. It's about those boundaries that you promised yourself. You promised yourself that you were no longer going to let people violate your boundaries. And this time, you're going to stand on it. You're going to stand on that business. And what I'm seeing lately, of course, I got a breakthrough, you know, but I got a breakthrough because I'll tell you this. This past weekend, for some reason, something came in me that felt like anger that I did not feel in a long time, right? And I just got so angry this weekend because it was like, you know, when you have a moment where the light, boom, it's just like a light just turned on, a light bulb just turned on in a dark room. And really, when that light bulb turned on, I just remember just how I allowed people to treat me. And the reason I allowed them to treat me, because again, what it goes back to, low self-esteem, not knowing who you are, not knowing yourself, not being comfortable in yourself, looking for validation and acceptance in other people, looking for them to give that to you, right? So I just remembered, you know, how I allowed people to treat me when I didn't have any of that, when I wasn't feeling good about Tally, and that it just felt so bad, and I just got so angry. And at first I was angry at them. To keep it real, but when it settled down, it was like, I can't be angry at them because first of all, I can't let people just stay in my heart like that and have unforgiveness in my heart. So I definitely got to forgive. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, what's the second thing? The second thing is I have to take responsibility for that. I know all of that wasn't my fault. I know that I was a kid and I didn't know better. I know all of that, but at the end of the day, for me to move past this, for me to grow as a person, for me to actually heal and not allow something like this to continue to happen in my life, because I feel like when you don't forgive, even if you realize your patterns, if you're not able to forgive and heal, you can still very well go through that same thing just because you're not fully healed. And forgiveness is a part of that healing. So because you're not forgiving, these same patterns are going to threaten to keep occurring in your life. And if you're not aware of that and you're not healed from it, they're gonna happen. They're gonna happen, and you may not have what you need, which means like the tools and the strength of mind to overcome it. So that's why healing is so important. That's why forgiving is so important. So you can recognize it if it tries to manifest again, and you make sure it doesn't happen again. It's so important to be able to recognize the red flags or the small signals that something is about to happen again. For an example, for me, I have to recognize when that trigger of wanting validation or acceptance from a person, an individual, a place or thing, I have to realize when it's happening again. So at the first start of it, the first sign of it, boom, cut it off. We're not doing that no more. Come on, people, we're not doing that no more. There has to be a partner in life. You see a pattern that tries to represent itself all in your life over and over again. There has to be a point where you have to be like, I'm not doing this no more. I can't do this no more. Like, I'm about to be 30 years old. I'm 28 right now, but I'm about to be 30. And it's like, for me, even if you're older than me, like, there's still time for you to say, like, we can't do this anymore. This is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. The years that I have left, no matter how many years that is, this is not what I'm trying to do. So in order for you to do that, you have to be able to recognize those patterns. In order for you to recognize those patterns, you have to evaluate it, and then you have to forgive, and you have to begin that healing process, whatever that may look like for you. Everybody, I guess, heals differently, but healing, you recognize it, you forgive, and then you set up boundaries in your life where that's going to protect you to not allow that to happen to you again. Period. So like I said, I started to get angry, and I was angry at other people, but I realized I have to let that go, because I already know in my heart that's wrong to stay angry. Like, it's not wrong to get angry, because you're gonna get angry. When you realize the certain things that you allowed in your life, you're going to be angry. You're going to be, when you start healing from certain things, probably one of the first feelings you're gonna feel besides shame is gonna be anger, because you're gonna be like, why would someone feel like they could treat me like this? Why did someone treat me like this? Or why did this happen to me? And I ended up, because of that, my reaction was this. Like, why did this? Because this happened to me, that's why I did this. Like, you're going to be angry at certain people, places, and things. There's a quote that I always look back at. It says, don't be surprised. And it's not unhealthy for you to be angry at certain people, places, and things when you're on that healing journey. So this is just common, it's normal, it's natural. So realize that it's normal to be angry. And when I first read that quote, I wasn't angry yet, but now I have flares of anger coming. I have flares of anger, and I'm like, wow, like, I'm really angry, and I'm angry at these people, because it's like, yeah, I was vulnerable. Yeah, I just wanted your acceptance. Yeah, I just wanted your validation. Yeah, I just wanted to be cool. Like, but you treated me like this. Like, I would, and then you start saying, I would have never done this to somebody. But we're all human beings, so there's no way to be 100% like you wouldn't have done that to other people if you were in their position. Like, that's another part of forgiveness, realizing that nobody's perfect, and you don't know if you would have did the same or worse if you were in that person's position. Whoever the offender was, you don't know what you would do in that position. And you have to recognize that. The best thing someone told me about forgiveness is, like, if you don't forgive somebody, that means you have a lot of pride in your heart, because what you're saying is that if I was that person, I wouldn't have done that. And we can never be too sure about that. Why? Because you haven't had the life experiences that person had. You didn't go through the things that person went through, and which is the reason why that person hurt you, because hurt people, right? So if you were to be put through the same kind of life experiences that person had, you don't know what you would turn out to be. You could have been better. You could have turned out to be better than that person, or you could have turned out to be the same or worse. So that's why you forgive them, because you just don't know. You just don't know, and you're realizing that they're human beings. And the best reason of all, the biggest reason of all, is that you just don't want to carry things around with you for the rest of your life. And there's actually studies that unforgiveness causes literal sickness in your heart. So that's a big one. You don't want that unforgiveness to cut your life short. Even the Bible says unforgiveness, like, it's like rotten. It rottens the bones. Like, it was a proverb, so it could be like some kind of some kind of saying, some kind of I don't know what they call it, hyperbole or whatever. I don't know. Sorry, forgive me. But yeah, you just want to recognize that. You don't want that to have a negative impact on yourself. So other than that, yeah. So after I came through being angry at people, and I was really angry at other people, I had to realize, like, yo, it's because of, and listen, that I could have blamed my mom and my dad. Like, why wasn't my dad pouring into me more as his daughter. And even to this day, you know, I have issues with my dad not affirming me as, you know, his daughter, not pouring into me. Like, I see that he has issues with that too, and I have to forgive him for that, because to be honest, I don't think my dad had somebody to affirm him in his life and cheer for him and push him to be better and say great things about him and affirm him in his manhood. So it's like, so I see that it's tough for him to like compliment and you know, give praise. Like, that's just all signs of it wasn't given to you. So if it wasn't given to you, it's very hard for you to give it to somebody else. Even I myself even have to train myself these days to give people praise, to give people honor where it is due, to give people their compliments, to give people their flowers. Like, that's something I actively practice, training myself to give credit where credit is due and praise other people. Because when you come from a place of not knowing, of not receiving that, especially from your parents, it is going to be hard for you to give that to other people. You do experience feelings of jealousy quickly, but also something I actively practice. Yeah, no one could stop that initial feeling of jealousy to hit your heart. You can't stop that, right? Because that's just like something that just comes. But what you could do is always know, like, even though it hits you, don't stay with it. Let it pinch you, let it hit, but don't let it stay on it. As soon as it hits you, you got to be talking to yourself. Nah, this person deserves what they have. They deserve this. God could do this for me too. If God did it for them, they could do it for me. I don't know what this person had to deal with to come by this. I don't know how I would walk if I was in this person's shoes. Like, you got to get that stuff off of you, because all of that is unhealthy. We're trying to be our best selves. Other than that, as I was saying, what was I saying? I was like, the reason that you've been through what you've been through, you know, you dealt with what you dealt with. Is that what I was saying? You've been through what you've been through. You dealt with what you dealt with, right? And you allow people to treat you a certain kind of way, and they make you angry now, and you have to get over it. But moving forward, let's talk about moving forward. We have to know who we are. And if you're waiting, I keep telling you guys this, if you're waiting for this world to validate you, if you're waiting for people to praise you and to make you feel like you are who you think you are, like, sometimes we don't feel the big dog in us. We don't feel how special we are. We don't feel how powerful we are. We don't feel how capable we are. But we have an inkling, right? We have a small thought in our mind that, yo, you might be powerful. You might have something special to give to this world. Like, you really supposed to be a big dog out here. You're really supposed to be out here thriving, doing your own thing, working in your purpose, having your way, being a big dog, standing on big business out here. Like, we feel that. Those of us who that is for, we feel that in our hearts. But every day, it's really, when you come from being put down, when you come from insecurity, it's really hard to show up as that person. Which is why I always say, like, if you want to be that person every day, you have to rebuke and forsake that negativity, that feeling like you're not enough, that feeling like you're not good enough. You have to push it, you have to put it down, you got to rebuke it, and you got to walk around, and you have to put positive thoughts in your mind, and you just have to walk around and practice being that big dog of a person. Practice being that person, that confident person with their head held high, knowing who you are. And if you're waiting for this world to make you feel that way, it's not coming. That's the thing. I was waiting for a long time for people to praise me, for people to big me up, you know, because I didn't get enough of that from my parents. Again, I'm not blaming them, because blaming people, to blame someone, it does nothing for us. It doesn't help our growth. In fact, in order to grow, we have to not blame other people, even if it's their fault. We have to just take full responsibility, because at this big grown age of 28, what do I still look like blaming my dad or my mom for things that I needed when I was 8 years old, 20 years ago, things when I needed when I was 5? No. At this point, it's up to me to give it to me. My life is up to me. So if I don't want to spend my life seeking validation, looking for love in all the wrong places, then I have to give it to me. And I have to trust God for it, and I have to allow God. God is our Father too, so I allow Him to pour into me. Walk with God, read my Bible. There's affirmations in there that lift me up and solidify who I am. So there's no discussion about it. There's no doubt about who I am when I go to the Father God, and He pours that into me. So we really got to understand that, and we really got to stop waiting for other people to validate us. Stop looking for love in all the wrong places. Stop looking for validation in the wrong places, and it's not coming. It's just not coming from this world. It's not coming. You really got to walk into the room knowing who you are. You got to walk into every situation in this world knowing that, listen, I'm who I am. I have something special and unique to bring into this world myself. I don't have to compare myself to nobody. I don't have to hate and be jealous on nobody. I'm unique. I'm special, all of myself. And that's really what you got to do. That's really, really, really what you got to do. Yeah, and you're gonna feel the energy shift when you start walking around with that. At first it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Secondly, you may get some pushback, because anytime you go into that mode, there's something in your life that has kept you back, that doesn't want you to be confident, that doesn't want you to feel like you got it, like you got it. But because you're gonna stay consistent in your thoughts, because you're going to continue to pour into yourself, because you're going to continue to practice. They say fake it till you make it, but it's really just practicing that person that you know you want to be. You know who you are. Because of that, one day everything's going to shift. Everything's going to shift, and you're going to see that shift, because now you have it on you. Like, it's not something that you're practicing anymore. It's rested on you. So people are going to react to that, and they're going to see, like, no, this one is not to play with. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. This is not the one. Don't play with him. If you were him, don't play with him, because he know what he is. He know who he is. You feel me? Like, I'm so proud of myself, because even real quick, even this past weekend, there was like somebody who tried to put me back in that other mindset. You know, sometimes there's certain people who they do little micro criticisms of you, and they and then it may be constructive criticism, but I don't know, like sometimes it's like micro criticisms, and it puts you back in that mindset of feeling like you're less than, wanting for more. And I just didn't like how it made me feel. Maybe it was just constructive criticism and I was tripping, but at the end of the day, if it makes me feel like I'm back in that same old mindset, I can't accept that. I gotta reject it, so I rejected it. And not only I rejected it, I let this person know what was on my mind. Like, listen, I don't like, because the way they were trying to play it, they was like, you know, I had to give them, like, tell them who I am. Like, to be completely clear, they were like correcting me. You know, you guys know, on Instagram, whatever, I had a post, and this person corrected me on the post, and I was already triggered. So this person, they were probably just a casualty of how I was already triggered in life, because I do feel like sometimes that people put a lot of expectations on me, right? So this person just got in the way. So it was probably very innocent, but at the moment, it's like I just couldn't let it fly. All right. So when I speak, sometimes you guys hear I speak, like I'm perfectly capable of speaking very well, but sometimes when I speak, I do speak a little slang. Like I don't even like code switching and speaking proper all the time. Like I do speak my little slang and, you know, my little fun. Like that's me. And then I said something that was improper English, and this person not immediately, but this person like tries to correct what I said, and that just made me feel, it just made me like I said, like it just shifted me back into a place I didn't want to be. So immediately, whether that person was innocent or not, and I said it in a nice way, the nicest way I could, I had to let them know, and this was my boundary, okay? But I had to let them know, like, listen, you're talking to somebody who was an honors English student since like middle school. You're talking to somebody who was in a spelling bee. You're talking to somebody who always had the top reading, writing scores in the class. I was always amongst the top in my class. And I said, at that point, I didn't even read. I wasn't even reading. I wasn't one of those parents. I did read when I was little. I did read a lot. I did like Nancy Drew books and all of that. But like reading was nothing that my mom required me to do. Like if I read a book, it was every now and then. So I didn't read, and I still had top reading and writing scores. So I had to really let this person know. Maybe I gave them too much, but sometimes you got to let people know what it is just for you. You feel me? Because it's like you may not have meant it in a certain way, but I can't allow these things to keep happening to me again. So now I let it happen, and now I go into a place of now I'm second guessing myself. I'm feeling less than, I'm feeling unworthy, and you were just playing around, but I'm feeling it's taking me back to a place that I don't need to be. So in order for me not to do that, I got to stand up for myself in this moment. And maybe it may get uncomfortable. Maybe I might be causing friction. But yes, in this moment, I have to stand up for myself because I don't want to revert back to an old, unhealthy state of mind just to keep the peace between us. No, I have to put my boundary there. Nope. When you talk to me, just know I'm not the most intelligent woman in the world, but I'm intelligent enough. Don't do that to me, you know? So sometimes you do need to do that. I know we like to keep the peace sometimes, so we don't want to cause friction and we just let things slide, but you're letting things slide and then you're going into an unhealthy mindset. You're feeling bad about it inside and it's going days and it's staying on your chest. No, you might as well just said something and cause friction so you won't have that on your chest for days and you don't revert back to old negative thought patterns, because that could not only affect your days, that could affect your weeks, and it could just bring you back. And we're trying to heal and move forward, so we can't afford to allow anything to bring us back. So if you have to cause that slight friction, it is what it is. If you're a real friend to me, then we'll patch it up. If you have good intentions in my life, we'll patch it up. But for right now, I have to have boundaries and I have to have self-love with myself. And that's what we all need to have. Stand up for yourself. Don't let people play with your face. Know who you are. Find out who you are. Go on that healing journey, because this world is not going to affirm you. You have to affirm yourself. You have to allow God, Jesus Christ, to affirm you guys. All right. So that's my little message for today. I'm about to go get my food, my dinner, and y'all know what it is. Have a good night.